Have you ever wondered whether or not public practice is for you? So today we're going to talk about some of the benefits of being self-employed as an accountant in public practice. So for those of you who are young students trying to make a decision on what career they want for themselves, and maybe some of you have even decided you want to become an accountant, and now you need to decide what field you want to go into. So you might be thinking, well, I could work for the government, I could work in industry. But one of the things I would encourage you to look at is to make a career in public practice. And so I want to maybe share with you an interview that I had with Howard Wirch. Howard Wirch has a practice out in Dauphin, Manitoba. And so he's going to be sharing with you some of the benefits that he's had in being in public practice. So before he gets into his spiel, some of the benefits I want to maybe share with you before he shares his own perspective on that is how interesting it is to be in public practice, because it's ever changing. The rules are ever changing and the clients are ever changing. So that to me is extraordinary. The second part of being in public practice that I really enjoyed is you're forever learning. So for those of you who are really into wanting to learn all the time, public practice will give you that challenge for sure. And of course, being challenging because of the fact it's ever changing and you're dealing with different people, different personalities, and all of that. But the biggest reward, I think, of being in public practice is the rewarding aspect of it, the fulfillment you get out of being in public practice. I cannot think of any other career, never mind inside of accounting, that could have given me the benefits that I got with the career I've chosen for myself in being in public practice all my life. To have people come to you and share with you how you've changed their lives, how, if not for the help you provided them, they might have even committed suicide. I've had a client tell me that. Or there's no way that their marriage would have survived if not for the help that we provided in getting their finances together. So those are things that you can't put a price on. So those are some of my takes on reasons you may want to consider being in public practice. But I'm going to let you listen to the interview I had with Howard, where he shares some of his thoughts and what he found rewarding in being in public practice. Why public practice?
Well, as I said earlier, I didn't have an eye for public practice at the first place. It found me, in a sense, that started working there here at the office, and it's like, oh my God, this is great. I can eventually become a business owner, which was a goal of mine. Secondly, I'm working with people, and the different types of people and the variety that we have, I don't think I've had a boring day ever.
Yeah.
And because you just never know what's around the corner.
Yeah, and that's what I keep saying to people.
It's a huge challenge, of course. The learning curve is steep. The amount of information that you have to try and obtain in especially in our situation where you have to be expert at a number of different things like farming and tax rules and financial statement rules and all, like just keeping up it's a huge challenge. But if I don't think it suits who I am, because I love to be challenged. Mm-hmm. I love challenging myself. I think that's probably why I do the crazy things I do. So public practice fits in that for me.
Tell me about maybe the best story about being in practice, because I think if we look back on our lives, you and I could probably come up with things that have happened since we've been in practice that we feel has changed people's lives. And then you look back and says, yep, that's the reason I get up every morning, despite sometimes the struggles of being in practice.
So you don't want a funny story?
Oh, yes, a funny story would be a good place to start.
Appropriate or not, it's what you find in clients' records that I thought was really funny. So it was one of our bookkeeping staff that found someone's bra in their records. So that was, to me, probably the highlight. Yeah.
And you got to wonder, how did it get there?
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there.
Yeah.
But anyway, no.
We had a client send pictures
of
their spouse
nice.
that were quite provocative. And then what we had to do is what do we do with those pictures? Do we send them back to the client, or do we just put them back in the box? And they're going to wonder, if we keep them, then they're going to say, well, what happened to my pictures? If we send them back, they're going to say, oh my God, they saw the pictures.
Yes.
So what do we do?
It's a dilemma.
It is
at the best of times.
Yes.
No. Remarkable moments are actually, for me, the small things. And I've had some significant things done for me. But with respect to the practice, more recent memory was actually something that happened where I was helping a client out with a small personal tax matter. And it was, to me, no big deal. It's what we do, although it was a little bit complex. But the next day, a couple days later or whatever, in my bunk at work where they deliver mail and so forth, was a little thank you card with a $20 Tim Hortons gift card inside of it. And I thought, wow, what I did for that person actually meant something.
Yeah.
And it's not the amount, but it was the fact that they did that and showed their appreciation. It was like, wow.
And it's not like you had done the services for free, right?
No, I charged them. Of course I charged them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that was really great. And of course, people do things for you sometimes, or thank you or whatever. And to me, the gratitude and the fact that you can actually make a difference in someone's life, that's all the reward right there.
Yeah. And for me, every Christmas, we go down to the reception area, there's a box of chocolates. And there's tons of them are rolling in. So where are these from? From clients. And I can't help but think, well, I have a hard time imagining me dropping off a box of chocolates to any business that I've paid for my services.
Right.
So obviously, if they're dropping off a box of chocolates because they're feeling that we're doing something special for them, and we should be compensated or be told how much we're appreciated. And it's something that we sometimes forget to really think back and says, wow, that really is kind of neat that there are so many people dropping off boxes of chocolates for us like that. A little bit like the $20 gift stick. It's not the amount. It's like they took the time to buy the box of chocolates and come to their office and drop it off. Like, that is
we have
phenomenal.
one of our clients, similar story, that every year at Christmas time, it's a tray of cookies that she bakes. So, taking the time, the thought of and bring it down to the office. Hey, just you guys are doing great. And of course, I never see any of those cookies. By the time I go back there, they're gobbled up. But
No, but and I shared to you this morning about this client of mine who had met a couple, an older couple, and she had talked about how she would bake pies out of beans, like brown pork and beans type of deal.
Yeah.
And I remember making kind of a face as if, oh, I can't see that being any good.
Gross.
Yeah, that can't be good.
Yeah.
And as luck would have it, 2-3 weeks later, I had another meeting with the same couple because I was consulting with them on transferring their farm over. And the lady comes in with this freshly baked pie. And the husband tells me, well, she got up at 5 a.m. to bake this pie just for you so you can taste her bean pie. And sure enough, I brought in this fresh baked bean pie to make me taste it. And actually, I have to admit, it was really, really good. I didn't think I'd like bean pie, but it was good. But again, it shows that it's the sort of thing I would expect from my mom, but not from a client. Like, I can't imagine getting up at 5 a.m. to bake something for someone who I know is going to charge me for their services. So it just shows you that the relationship is not what we think it is. It's more profound than that. It's more of a friendship and sometimes son or father relationship almost.
I had one more story. It just came to mind as you were talking about showing appreciation to clients and the amount of relief that you can give them from being a numbers person and they don't get it and it's not their thing. And the one client, after we were done, we had taken over the file from another firm, had done a pretty nasty job to them. And we just done our job. It's not that we did anything special on this client over anyone else.
Yeah.
But at the end, in front of her husband, she gets up and she says, well, if I could get away with it, I'd kiss you. I said, well, I'll take a hug. So, but genuinely, just, you know, the relief and, you know, the ability to, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
It's just
one of those. Yeah. So that was very rewarding too.
Yeah, that is cool.
So I hope you enjoyed that short interview that I had with Howard. If you liked it, I would appreciate you indicating so. If you like what we're doing here, please subscribe. And finally, if you're going to be self-employed, always remember to work on your practice more than you do in your practice.